So after you finish your quiz, you're going to do a homework assignment that should not take you very long on algebraic strategy. So we're going to review something that you should run like you did it in pre-algebra, you did it in algebra 1, you did it in algebra 2. We're just going to review it so we can do it in advanced math. So these are the algebraic strategies that you're going to review. Distributing, which you already know how to do because we've done it already. FOIL, which we haven't done yet, but I'm pretty sure you remember how to do. And superFOIL. Those are all distributing. Distributing is just distributing one thing. FOIL is distributing a couple things at a time. First, outside, inside, last. superFOIL is distributing multiple things many times. So it's all distributing. It just gets increasingly more complex as we go. So let's start with distributing. So you might have a question that's like this. 3x squared minus 5 in parentheses with a minus after it. And then x squared plus 4x minus 7. What about that? I mean, it's a subtraction problem, so why would I call that a distributing problem? What about it has to be distributed? The subtraction, right, the minus. So this is still a distributing problem. You're just distributing the negative. And so that negative will get distributed to everything that comes after it. So it's one thing distributed all the way back. So that's going to give me 3x squared minus 5. And then when I distribute, the x squared gets a negative, the 4x gets a negative. But what happens to that minus 7 at the end? Double negative becomes a positive. Now I need to combine like terms, so things that have the matching powers. And so I've got a couple terms that both have x squared on them. So I've got 3x squared minus a plain x squared, so that gives me 2. X squared. What's going to come next? Right, the 4x. And there's nothing else to combine with it. It's the only 4x. And then at the tail end, we're going to group together the minus 5 with the positive 7, because neither of those have an x on them, and so those turn out to be plus 2. So that's an example of distributing, but you're distributing a negative. Okay, now let's move on to some FOIL. Okay, the next question is going to be 2x minus 5 to the third. What does it mean to square something? What if I had a square there? Multiply it by, so what does it mean to cube something? Multiply it by itself thrice, yeah, 3 times. So 2x minus 5 times another 2x minus 5 times a third 2x minus 5. Now this is a FOIL problem because I work with 2 at a time. I'm going to take the first 2 and I'm going to FOIL that. And to FOIL you work on first, then outside. So first would be 2x times 2x, and then outside would be 2x times negative 5. So that's going to give me 4x squared minus 10x. Then I work on the inside, so I'll have negative 5 and then the last 2 terms. So then I'll have another negative 10x, and the last 2 terms will be plus 25. I can simplify that to have 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. But what do I still have on the end? That 2x minus 5, that third one that was there. So now comes the superFOIL part. Is everybody with me so far on the regular FOIL part? Okay, superFOIL. We start with 4x squared, and it goes to both of those terms. So 4x squared all the way to 2x is going to give me 8x cubed. And then 4x squared all the way to the negative 5 will give me negative 20x squared. The next part of superfoil, come on, is going to be to take the negative 20 and do it to both terms. So that will give me negative 40x squared, but positive 100x. 20 times 5. And then comes the last, where you take just the 25 and you do it to both of the terms. And so the superfoil ends with 25 times 2, which is 50x, minus 25 times negative 5, which is negative 125. So that's the process of superfoil. Take the first one and distribute it all the way back. Take the middle one, distribute it all the way back. Then take the last one and distribute it all the way back. Then we group together our like terms. So our final answer is 8x cubed minus how many x squareds? 60. And then plus how many x's? 150 minus 125. And so that is the result of a foil and a superfoil problem at the same time. That's going to be what your homework is. So not word problems, not slope, just, and this will be after your quiz. So if you finish your quiz early, you can start working on this. If you take the whole time on your quiz, then you can, this will be your homework for the weekend.